So here I have a folktale of Assam, and the title of this folktale is The Fortune Teller. Once in a village there was a farmer called Foring. His wife was rather selfish. The husband and the wife were the only members of the family. They did not have any children. It was the month of Magh and there was a little drizzle. Foring got up early in the morning and said to his wife, "It's cloudy today. I feel like having rice cakes. Can't you bake some for me? I think I'll not have rice today." The wife said, "But where is Baradhan for making rice cakes? We do not have any in the granary." "Well, it seems we can't have rice cakes then," said the husband. The wife then said, "Please go out and see if Baradhan is being threshed in any household. Please go and ask for some." The husband thought for some time and made a plan. He wrapped an airy warmer around his body and went out. Seeing that the threshing of Baradhan, which is a sticky variety of rice, was going on at a neighbor's place, Foring went in. He sat near the threshing floor and initiated chatter with the household about this and that. He sat there for quite some time, continuing the chatting. Meanwhile, the grains of rice got separated from the stalks. The householder shook the straws free of the grains and pushed them aside. Just then, Foring, complaining for a gripping pain, rolled over the heap of paddy with the airy wrapper still around his body. The grains of Baradhan were covered by very fine bristles, so that the grains of rice got stuck to the airy wrapper, which had a rough surface. Foring rolled 3 or 4 times over the heap of rice before leaving for home, pretending to be writhing in agony. On reaching home, Foring shook the airy wrapper and got a basket full of Baradhan. The wife was very happy to see the basket of rice. She at once boiled them, then shunned them and removed the husk by beating the dried grains. And then she ground the sticky rice. In the evening, after cooking and serving meal to her husband, she took out to prepare for baking rice cakes. After food, Foring was sleepy, and so he went to bed. The wife baked 12 scores of cakes and put them on a bamboo tray. Then she ate most of the cakes and put away the remaining few in a bowl. Before going to bed, she woke her husband up and said, "I have finished baking rice cakes, but I want to set a condition. Whoever gets up early tomorrow will eat 1/3 of the cakes, and whoever wakes up late will get the 2/3. Foring agreed and went back to sleep. Next morning, none of them was ready to get up from bed. The sun was getting hotter, yet both went on snoring, pretending to be asleep. In the end, Foring realized that he could not afford to go on sleeping like this by neglecting his work in the field. Let his wife have 2/3 of the rice cakes. He would just have 1/3. And he got up. Seeing him getting out of bed, his wife said, "You've got up before me, so you'll have 1/3 of the cakes." "It's all right. You have 2/3, said her husband. Foring went to the kitchen to eat his share of rice cakes and found that there were only a few. He asked his wife, "Where are the remaining rice cakes?" "Remaining rice cakes? All the rice cakes that I've made are there in the bowl. Have 1/3 and keep the rest for me," she said. How strange, thought Foring. Only these few cakes from a basket full of rice? Suddenly his eyes fell on the round bamboo tree hanging from the wall. He saw there the impressions left by the rice cakes. He counted them up to find that there were 3 scores in total. Without saying anything to his wife, he came out and sat down outside. His wife brought the bota, the bell metal tray, and offered sliced areca nuts, pan, and slices of sali bark to her husband. As she took them from the tray, Foring recited a proverb: "Divine the future with the plough, Drive with strict sticks the spirits out. Someone ate cakes 3 scores. Who can tell, who knows? His wife had understood the hidden meaning of the lines. She was ashamed of herself and immediately left the place to fetch water from the river. She met a number of women at the river landing and confided the story of rice cakes to them. She concluded her narration by saying that her husband was in fact a fortune teller. The word quickly spread first among the village women, and then all the villagers came to know that Foring was a fortune teller. A villager had lost one black cow of his. When he had failed to find the cow after searching for 5 days, the man approached Foring, whom he had meanwhile heard to be a fortune teller. The man asked him if he could find some clue. Coincidentally, that morning, Foring saw the black cow grazing in the field filled with tall reed-like grasses behind his homestead. So Foring told the man, "Go and find a cow behind my homestead." The man followed his advice and immediately found his cow. After this incident, it got well grounded all around that Foring was an accomplished fortune teller. The news soon reached the king. Incidentally, the king had lost a golden necklace worth 100,000 coins. He searched every nook and cranny of the palace, but the chain was not to be found. So the king summoned Foring to the court and asked him to find the lost gold chain. When the king's messenger conveyed the king's order to Foring, he was about to faint. If he refuses to go, the king will execute him. The king will execute him even if he goes but fails to find out the chain. So by leaving everything to destiny and God, he had left his home and presented himself before the king. The king warmly welcomed the fortune teller and ordered that he should be taken inside and served refreshments. Foring was served such tasty foods as doi, milk, softened rice, molasses, and other delicacies. The king had 2 queens. One was called Madoi, the other Hadoi. It was Hadoi who had stolen the gold chain and hidden it somewhere. Learning that the fortune teller had arrived, she was utterly terrified, apprehending that she would get caught. So she stood near the room where Foring was eating and observed him through a chink in the wall. Foring was equally frightened. When he saw the bowl of softened rice and doi, he said to himself aloud, "Oh, doi, eat well today. Who knows what the king is going to do to you tomorrow?" When the junior queen heard these words, she said, "Oh, I'm done for. The fortune teller has got me." The queen did not realize that Foring was talking to himself. Instead, she felt that Foring knew that it was her who stole the necklace. So she came out and said, holding his hand, "Oh, fortune teller, please do not reveal this secret. I'll give you whatever you want." It was immediately clear to the fortune teller that Queen Hadoi was a thief. He said to the queen, "Your Majesty, I'll not divulge the secret by you. You must bring the chain immediately and put it in the king's handy box." Then and there, the queen followed his instructions and was happy to know that Foring was trying to save her. Next day, the king summoned the fortune teller and asked him to tell who had stolen the necklace. The fortune teller, remembering his plan and his conversation with Hadoi the previous day, bowed to the king and said, "My lord, I don't see anyone stealing the necklace. I think it is in your lordship's handy box." The king had his handy box brought to him. When it was opened, the gold chain was found to be lying there. Everybody was astounded at this. The king honored him by making him a courtier and by generously rewarding him with lands, cash, and other goods. And this is how Foring became rich and successful.